Hey everybody, Matt here. I'm doing a video today, and this is going to kind of be my Second Amendment video. I did one of these a while back. It's been 6 to 9 months ago, and for the most part, nobody ever really checks, your back catalog of old videos. I mean, occasionally somebody runs across it, and I get a comment on it. But this was done back when I only had a couple hundred subs, I think, and I really kind of wanted to kind of update it, I guess. And it's a subject that, since it is something that's very important, I think, not only to us gun owners and us in the gun/tactical community, but to us as a nation. The Second Amendment is a big part of our country and its heritage. So I don't feel bad in popping out another video every once in a while on this subject, but I think we as gun owners spend a lot of time either dodging or being worried about that question, and obviously it's going to depend on who you know and where you live, but that oh so horrible question that pops up every now and then of, well, why do you own a gun, or why do you carry a gun? And it's a question I've been asked a few times. I think we tend to try and do our best to get those people to understand that a gun can be something that's valuable to have. It can be a good tool to have. So we throw up reasons like hunting. We throw up reasons like self-defense, protecting our family, protecting our home. We start going into detail saying, well, I work in this bad neighborhood, or I live in this neighborhood, or I've been robbed before, or things, and we throw up all these excuses, and we do it because we're trying to get across a point, and we hope that by showing the different uses and different ways a gun can be useful and can be something that could frankly save your life, we hope that the other person will see the light. But honestly, most people asking that question 9 times out of 10 are never going to agree with you owning or carrying a gun. So it almost becomes pointless, but we still try it. We still do it day in, day out, every time somebody asks us that question. And I think that because we've spent so much time doing this, it's gotten to the point to where we start to see the Second Amendment as the self-defense amendment. It's our right to protect ourselves, and in a way that's true. But we need to start thinking of the Second Amendment a little bit differently. I like to compare it to the open carry versus concealed carry debate. And in that debate, you have two trains of thought. And then you have some people like myself that think both are equally good. But you have the people on the concealed carry side who like being able to have their firearm on their person. They know it's there, but nobody else does. And I will be honest, I'm very much more that type of person. And then there's the open carry people who like the idea of carrying their pistol, and they want people to know they have a firearm. Period. This is my firearm. I have the right to carry it, and here it is out in the open. There it is. And like I said, while I am very much a concealed carry type person, I would obviously feel much more comfortable concealed carrying than I would open carrying. However, if Texas allowed open carry, I would open carry. And I think this is where it ties into the Second Amendment. I would open carry for the reason of making people understand that it is not something to be feared. Okay? Yes, there's always a crazy guy with a gun. It can always happen. But there can always be a crazy guy with a knife or a crazy guy with a bat. Okay? Guns have been around for, let's just estimate, around 500 years. We've been on Earth a lot longer than that. There were psychos and crazy nut jobs long before there were ever guns, and there will continue to be regardless. So by having a gun and open carrying, you very much are putting it out there and trying to almost get people used to the idea again. We used to be in this country, we used to carry guns. Our heritage is very much founded on gun ownership. The right to protect ourselves and our lives and our land and our country. I mean, children used to be given guns as birthday presents when they were old enough to pick them up, or they would be passed down a gun. I mean, it's very much a part of the American heritage, and it's not a bad part. It's not something to be ashamed of. But I think even we as gun owners spend so much time trying to come up with other reasons and excuses for why we have a gun, and we need to remember that open carry versus concealed carry debate. The reason open carry is important is it has nothing to do with carrying your gun. It has to do with showing other people that it's okay to have a gun. And to get into more detail, the reason that's why open carry is so important is because the Second Amendment has nothing to do with hunting. It has nothing to do with self-defense or protecting your family, protecting your life, or having a way to defend yourself in a bad neighborhood. Those are all byproducts. Those are all, side effects of the Second Amendment, but they're not what the Second Amendment is about. What the Second Amendment is about is us as a people having the means to protect ourselves against a potentially corrupt or tyrannical government. Okay? Plain and simple, that's what it is. Potentially tyrannical or corrupt government. It does not say, the Second Amendment was not based on, if we're protecting ourselves against Britain, which was definitely a tyrannical and corrupt government, then yes, we had a right at that time, but now, there's no longer a need for it, as so many people love to say, there's no longer a need for the Second Amendment because our government's no longer corrupt or tyrannical. Well, first of all, that's up for debate. But even if it's true, that's not the point. The point was that every man, woman, and child on U.S. soil was allowed to have a firearm to protect themselves against a potential corrupt or tyrannical government. And the reason for that was, if every man, woman, and child had full access to the same firearms that the government had access to, then the government would never be able to turn on its people because it would know it is outnumbered. I mean, government is powerful, no doubt. It has a military, no doubt. But it cannot compete with every man, woman, and child in the country. Okay? And if everyone else in the country has a gun, then there is no way that the military can win short of, nowadays they could, nuke a city. That's about the only way you could win. But you'd be destroying your own country to do so. So we need to realize that when somebody asks us, why do you carry a gun or why do you own a gun? Say, because it's my duty, it's my responsibility as an American citizen to try and be just one more citizen that's standing there waiting in line, that if anything should ever happen, if our government should ever turn on us, should ever become corrupt, should ever become tyrannical, they know I'm here. And they know I, along with everybody else who owns a gun, they know we're ready to stand against them, just like our forefathers did against standing against Britain. Okay, that's why. And I know it's a hard answer to give, and I know sometimes it's an answer that just leads to more and more questions from these same people. But it's time that we stop trying to shorten the answer and say, "Oh, it's for hunting or self-defense." It's time we start explaining what the Second Amendment means, why it's important, why we own guns, why we carry guns, because the short answers aren't cutting it anymore. We are now living in a society that between the government, the schools, all the teachers unions, I mean everything, even the police are guilty of this, and they above all should know how important it is to protect, to be able to protect yourself. But it's coming from all angles. Every day, kids are growing up in a society that's teaching them guns are bad, guns are bad, guns are bad. Don't touch a gun, don't look at a gun, don't play with a gun, don't learn anything about a gun. If somebody has a gun, stay away from that person. They're getting inundated with how evil guns are every day. And it's time we as gun owners stand up and start to explain why guns are not evil, why they are important, why they are our heritage in this country, why they have helped make us great. It is the Second Amendment that has allowed us to protect every other amendment in the Constitution. It is that important. And it's time for us to stop giving the short answer, start giving the long answer. Even if it leads to more question and more debate, then those are questions we need to answer and debates we need to have. So anyway, that's it. That's my little Second Amendment rant. And like I said, I think it's good once in a while to throw up a Second Amendment video. I think we should all be doing it. Coincidentally, I would like to mention about this what is it? What do they call it? The HR 308, the extended magazine or extended capacity something bullshit, fucked up, fuck you ban. It's basically another gun ban, another magazine ban. Call your congressman, call your senators, call call anybody you can. Write letters, send emails, make phone calls. We cannot let this slip by. You know, I know we have a Republican Congress, but it is time that we stop being lazy in this country. We cannot assume that this will not pass. Yes, I know there's a very good chance that it will not go through, but we cannot take that chance. We cannot be lazy. Write a letter, handwrite a letter, then send an email, then make a phone call to anybody and everybody in power in your area. We got to do something. We've got to let them know this is bullshit. It's not going to pass. If so much as one person votes for it, they will be remembered next time election day comes around. So that's very important. I needed to throw that in there. I want to make sure you guys know, and I know you guys know that anyway. But anyway, that's it. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to go ahead and take off and get out of here. Any questions, comments, video responses? I love all that shit. I'm happy to do this. This is what it's all about, is getting together with you guys and going back and forth. So appreciate you guys watching once again, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.